Hey, this is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I'm bringing you guys a review of Ghostbusters, the video game for the PlayStation 3. It's hard to believe the original Ghostbusters movie was released in 1984, and the sequel was released 5 years later in 1989. That's a pretty long time ago. The story in this game takes place 2 years after the events in Ghostbusters 2, and the game itself cost somewhere between $15 and $20 million to develop. Certainly not a cheaply developed game by any means. There's a whole lot to like about this game, but it does have a couple flaws. Let's go ahead and get into the review. This game was actually created 2.5 years ago, and just like I stated in the Simpsons game review, the graphics in this title still look really good even in today's new market of games. There's a lot of detail in the very destructible environments, and the lighting effects, especially in the darker areas, seem to have been a very strong focus point with the direction they took with the graphics. The proton beams and the meters on the proton packs themselves really stand out as having detailed, bright, and vivid colors. There's also a lot of different types of enemies to fight and wrangle in, and a few very cool boss fights as well in this game. No matter how many times I hear the original Ghostbusters theme that plays during the game, I never get tired of it. All the main original actors lent their voices and likeness to this game, and Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd are just as funny in this game as they were in the original movies. Throughout your entire playthrough, someone usually has a witty or sarcastic comment to really give the game a lighthearted feel to it, and it certainly helps the story move along. The trophies on this game is actually one of the best and worst parts to this game. There's a couple trophies that are somewhat glitched and prevent some from getting the platinum. There may be a workaround for it, but I can't really confirm this one way or another, as there's been a pretty large debate on that. Now, if you're not going after a platinum, this game does contain some really fun trophies to go after, such as doing as much property damage as you possibly can in one playthrough, along with some pretty funny trophies to collect as well. %90 of games that are based off of a movie license are generally pretty bland, boring, uninspired, and just overall not that great of a game. This game does not fit into that category. The story in this game was actually written by a couple of the original Ghostbusters, and you can really hear the enthusiasm in their voices as they read out their lines. You can honestly tell everyone that was involved with this game really wanted it to succeed and be a great game to play for the fans. And it really is a complete joy to play through this game, whether you're an old school Ghostbuster fan or completely new to the experience altogether. There are a couple of frustrating parts in this game and a couple pretty tough boss battles as well, but it didn't ruin the fun that this game has to offer. This very well could be one of the most under the radar, overlooked games for the PlayStation 3. Even now, at the very cheap price tag it carries, most people don't ever take a second look at it. The newer Ghostbuster game that's in the PlayStation Store that supposedly isn't all that good really didn't help matters, but trust me when I say this one is a fun game. I had a lot of fun playing through this game twice and would recommend it as a buy if you're looking for a cheap game to have some fun with. Anyways, this is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I'll be bringing you guys more soon.